Say what? Yo, who was that? ATL show coming live. We about the world. Know that we a show. We got ATL Legacy, the podcast. Oh God, we're taking over for the ATL show.
Naya, what?
The ATL show's on. Duh. Get out! Get
But
out!
Naya, it's supposed to be for adults only. It's supposed to be.
ATL, they're back.
It's my time again.
Anthony, Tioma, G Savage, Legacy. They're back. They're the best. Let's get it. Season 2.
I'm the best in this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay. I'm the best you other cats just failed the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spinners in my city. But if it comes for 28, then shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Even dead on the scene since you wanna be actors. This the message. I'm talking over hills and places. Schools over feeling foggy. I'll be patiently waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on against me. Once when you ready to lose. The game, the street, the throne is true. This the message. Hope it leave you from the rapper. Sure. Yeah. The message. So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot.
ATL, ho.
Just in time accessories. We definitely have the bling and everything in between. Just in time accessories. Tayama Copeland is your independent paparazzi consultant. You can find Tayama on Instagram at Tayama01 or Facebook Tayama Copeland or 954-873-6659 or justintimeaccessories@gmail.com or the website justintimeaccessories.com. Everything is only $5. All jewelry is nickel and lead free. You can find Tayama live on her page, Tayama Copeland. Just in time accessories. We have the bling and everything in between. Check it out.
Legacy Unlocked. When you're locked out of your vehicle, can't get in your car, call Legacy. Serving West Palm Beach and surrounding cities. That's area code 229-630-7615. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you been denied disability, Social Security, or custodianship of your children? Call Antonio Williams. He has the knowledge and experience to fight the government on your behalf. Let him represent you. That's Antonio Williams, your non-legal attorney consultant.
Good evening. Welcome, one and all. Welcome. Get in here. Welcome to the Anthony Brown Show, the segment that we call the ATL. I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown. Welcome to another episode. I just want to remind everybody, definitely hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. It costs you absolutely $0 to subscribe. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. What are you waiting for? Hit that thumbs up and definitely comment below, and we will respond to your comments accordingly and read them live here on the screen. I'm joined tonight by my sister. Yes, the bold, the beautiful Miss T. Savage.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing?
And I'm also joined by the pain in my back, my neck, my side, my foot, my ankles. Oh,
That's like old age. That's not me. That's old age.
It's like cancer. Mr. Legacy the Great.
That's old age, sir, not Legacy the Great.
Oh, wow. And as I mentioned every week, Duncan Hines and Sarah Lee ain't got shit on us. We got the juiciest cakes on this side of the Mississippi. Let's welcome Juicy Cakes to the show.
Cake.
Blessings, everyone.
And of course, she was most of us having technical difficulties or Tyson over there kicking our ass. Let's welcome Tyson Mark.
Remember, I'm on my way out the state.
Welcome to Yama.
Hello, black folks.
Hey, lady.
Hi.
Good
Hey,
evening,
Miss
Paula.
And I'm joined by the very sassy, the best designer glasses, shades.
Hey.
Dixon, Miss Auntie Adrian.
Hey, y'all.
From her kitchen to yours.
Or wherever you may be.
Yes.
Hey, sis. I didn't realize my phone was still on vibrate from work. I just realized that.
You just realized what?
My phone been on vibrate since work.
Oh. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing
that's when you were using it.
Would you had your phone, she said, between your thighs?
Yeah, she was using it.
No, I didn't. Oh my God, don't say that. No, absolutely not. First of all, there's not enough vibrations for me. That's number one.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe you got to get that rose.
Yes, you need a car battery.
Hold on. Anthony, you been in my top drawer?
No. Oh. Y'all are too much.
No, you ain't shit, dog. So I need a car battery. I knew I heard a bitch creeping in my bedroom looking at my drawers last night.
Guilty.
Took away my secrets.
Okay. I just want to remind everybody that's out there that if you're into getting prescription glasses or some stylish glasses, definitely go on over to www.voogueme.com and enter promo code Auntie A to receive 15% discount on your stylish glasses that supports Auntie Adrian. So what are you waiting for? Order yours today.
Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate that.
No problem, no problemo. So how's everybody's day been going so far?
Mine's been great. I've been busy, but busy's good.
You still catching up with the taxes, or are you final with that?
No, I'm not finished with that. I'm doing some people, last minute folk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still doing last minute folk, but it's the busy season doing my other job. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think yesterday or 2 days ago was Janet Jackson's birthday, so we just want to give a belated birthday to Janet Jackson. Happy birthday, Janet.
Yeah.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
If you're nasty.
Well, I guess it's Miss Jackson for all of us, because we all nasty.
What?
Not me.
You're the main one.
That's why you got 35 kids, because you ain't nasty.
Yes.
This is a random question. Did y'all hear about the thing at the School of Arts today?
Yeah. I heard bits and pieces. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, though.
They were saying something about a man in a white van ran through their locked gate and hit a pole and then got out the car and went to their auditorium and went inside, and the police killed him in the auditorium in front of a bunch of kids.
Oh, wow.
What? Where was that?
At Dreyfus School of the Arts.
Hey, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian. Why did the police need to kill him?
Adrian,
they said that the man was being irate and or whatever, but I just feel like it was other methods. But at the same time, they're looking at protecting the kids, and I'm just wondering what the ethnicity of this person was, because they're not releasing that.
But I get that, but at the same time, protecting the kids until they shoot the man. Did he have a gun and stuff?
I don't know. They haven't really released like major details. They only giving general shit.
He was black.
That's what I was saying too. Because you know, a few years ago, one of the custodians died on campus. Got killed. I don't know what that's about.
Wow. But anyway, here's something interesting I found on Facebook the last couple of days, and I just want to share this with y'all. But before I read to y'all what it says, I have to right on my
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My phone stopped ringing. Sorry.
I want y'all to take a look at this picture. And take a look at this picture. Now I'm going to read to you.
Show the other one. Show the other one again.
Now I'm going to read to you what he posted on Facebook. Or should I say what he had the audacity to post on Facebook. He said he's 23 years old, no kids, a homeowner, car owner, business owner, bachelor's degree in computer science and business administration. He's looking for a woman whom are single, real hair, no kids, make a minimum of $120,000 a year, must be in shape, must own a home and a luxury vehicle, cannot weigh over 150 pounds.
Go ahead, brother.
Yep, he said he's 23. Who wants to chime in first?
I said, go ahead, brother.
Okay, baby. You know what they making them dolls over there in Australia now, because I follow one of them guys on my TikTok page, baby. And if you look at them, and you know they talk and everything, they got real boobs and everything. So I think they about 25,000-30,000 to start. So you know he might want to check into one of them. I'm just saying, cause
Almost said he real funny. Adrian said no, this is not real. Miss Paula said
oh God.
Almost said hey everyone.
Hey Alma, hey Paula.
So my thing is, how do you? I'm a firm believer that whatever you expect, you should also be somewhat equally bringing that to the table.
Come on now, don't get me started on that one. Don't get me started on that one. There you go, Anthony. That's what I believe too. Because how can I expect you to have something that I don't have? And from the looks of it, is that one of them? That looked like an Obama phone. One of them safe, like he's how old?
He said his write up says 23.
Anyway, y'all, I think I might have hit the number tonight. That's what I think about that.
He said 23. He said 23 with no kids. I can believe he have no kids.
Lord bless him not to have none.
Oh, I almost said something. You're right. I know he ain't got no kids because he ain't getting no coochie. So
yeah.
Paul asked, did he have any comments under his post? Yes, he has 2,800 comments.
What they were saying, Anthony, I'd be running to the comment section. Was they giving it up? Was they laying his ass out in the comments?
Well, I don't know, because this is just a screenshot, because I ain't want him to delete the post, so I screenshot it. So I can't scroll up.
I am pretty sure it was comments on there. I know they was coming for him in the comment section.
You know, to him, the thing about it
is what? I almost say he looks like Boo Boo the Fool.
he does at the moment, but all he's got to do is go put in the work that he's expecting or looking for, and he might not. Huh? Oh hell no to the no. To the
Just
no
let me
no. I'm just trying to help boost his I'm just trying to help him
Picture
keep
back up again.
his self-esteem where he's at. Because that's confidence.
That's confusion.
Wait a minute, hold on. You feel like what
Confident,
his
that's
demands are is
delusional.
confidence? You
That's
feel like what his
delusional.
demand? Hold on. You think what he said is confidence? He doesn't look like he possessed any of the things that he's asking. And I know that we can't judge a person by their book, by the way they look. What looks?
I'm waiting for ladies to say something. Smiling. This is a talk show. We all talk.
Man, this man don't win. That man looked like he stepped out of prison 2 days ago and borrowed somebody's shirt, grew his hair while he was in the chain gang. That's them chain gang prison glasses. And that man can just write anything he want to lie about on a post. And I mean, I can hear what he's saying, but I think Miss Adrian hit it on. Juicy hit it on the spot. It's okay to have that type of confidence, but you need what you're requiring of the woman to have. I mean, they flying through. Say, Savage, read them.
Adrian says, "No man, call 911."
No man, pimp down, call 911. He demanded too much looking like that. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. So, like Juicy said earlier, he got to put in the work. He got to put in some work requiring those things from a woman, and then you know what I'm saying, you out here with a body all the way backwards, and wearing a 1945 afro with prison shades on. You got to do a little bit better than that. But he's basing his thoughts off of his wallet, if that's what he got. You know what I'm saying? He's saying that
he's saying he could pay for it.
Right, that's what he's saying. If you just come right now, he'll take a base off the street to suck his penis for 50 cents. Cause he ain't getting no cool cat. He ain't getting nobody.
And he might be paying for it already, and he getting a whole lot. And now he know he want to step it up.
The cheapest blowjob I ever heard of. Well, that head must be garbage. Garbage ass head. Garbage.
Tony, you was born
married to her pimp for like 20. I think she said she had been married to her pimp for about 25 years.
But most pimps, when they do their thing, they always marry their bottom bitch. So, that's why they probably been married that long.
Also,
yeah, he was much older.
Also in celebrity news, Nick Cannon's current girlfriend is pregnant with baby number 8, and he also has 2 other girls on the outside pregnant with number 9 and 10. So there's 3 girls right now pregnant at the same time.
I think this Nick want to be the next Future.
And the thing about it is they're all beautiful women and proud, as if they're either in their own world and don't know the other exists, or their other world exists, or they just.
Do you really think they're proud?
For the family.
I don't believe they're proud. I think they don't give a damn. They looking at Nick Cannon as money, and they want to solidify their place in his pocket by pushing out them babies. So it ain't shit proud about it. It's what they seeing as a paycheck.
And plus, Nick makes it known in the very beginning that he's not a man that's gonna settle. That's gonna settle for one. So you're one of the tribe. So you either get with it or you don't.
So it seems as if they are proud that they were being chosen to be a part of the tribe.
Yeah. I can see that. Proud to be a part of the tribe.
Okay.
Yeah, I get you. I get that.
They were chosen and that they're able to care. That's why I said, or they're either in their own world, because there was no like, oh, I hate that she's pregnant. There was no animosity towards the other, they are happy to be pregnant.
Yeah, it's
And
my
it's
turn.
like,
Because like Adrian said, they get their portion of the bag.
Yes. And that's what dating has become. And this we talk about this all the time, and I be trying to tell y'all this is what women are looking for now. If I could get a bag I'm talking about if I could get a bag without having to be bagged, then I can keep doing what I'm doing when I want to do it, because every month they're gonna drop me a check for $30,000 in my bank account. So why would I make myself subjective to being married when all I gotta do is attach myself to somebody who's and Nick family got bread from way back. So
Nick from old money.
Yeah,
he
they
from
got
old money.
but you know what? I even look at those children are going to be he's very talented, and he's spreading some great genes at that. So they're having money, but he's also the children are building. They're tapping into legacy. They're tapping into generational wealth.
But do you really think those women are thinking about that?
Where did
Where
they get their money from? Nick Cannon family.
His mom of them were investors, I think.
Oh, okay.
But they like almost billionaires.
Yeah, he's from he was born into money, and they got old money. It's like years of money. I ain't never really been clear where it came from, but I know he's from money.
Hey, Miss Going Natural.
Listen, Veronica.
But
I thought somebody
that,
came Nickelodeon.
I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that it is Juice, and I understand you looking at the father and saying that he's talented, and hopefully that the genetic gene.
The women were beautiful too. The women were beautiful too.
Because you beautiful don't mean that you got intellect.
Hopefully they do. I mean, I give it. I'm the one that gives everybody the benefit of the doubt. I want to look.
They had enough intelligence to lay down there and take that dick and that nut.
I wonder if the D good. I just wonder if it's good. Or is it all about the money? I know it's all about the money, but I wonder is it the cherry on top? Is the D good? I don't know. I don't know Nick Cannon like he got no good D. So I don't know.
Nick Cannon had this show Wildin' Out, and it's been said that Nick slept with every woman that been on that show.
I can believe it.
And just let me just we talk about loyalty on the show a lot, but I want to just piggyback off of Nick Cannon and the Wildin' Out show. I want to just give honor to his homeboy. Yeah, blood makes you related, loyalty makes you family. They offered that spot to when they let Nick Cannon go by him standing up, for Louis Farrakhan, and they tried to make him anti-Semitic. They offered it to the little dude. Everybody like him, but he ain't funny to me. But they offered him the job, and he told them he couldn't take the job because how could he bite the hand of the man that fed him?
Him who? Who you talking about?
The little skinny dude.
Carlos Miller.
DC Young Fly.
Oh,
DC Young Fly.
Okay.
Yeah. He told him he couldn't do it. He said Nick been feeding him for years. Why would he do that? So they had to go back and hire Nick Cannon because they couldn't do it. Nobody wanted to take the position.
That was respect. I mean, they really respected him.
Yeah, that man made everybody pretty much famous.
That means he got a big day.
He do have a big one. He do have a big one. The reason why I say that is because one day he was on his show and the print was showing so much to everybody on social media was screenshotting it and putting it all over social media.
Well, he put a sock in that thing back in the dressing room.
Well, I think someone asked. They wonder how he was with as far as. I mean, there's your answer.
He had to go on social media and apologize.
DC Fly, Cynthia said DC Fly.
But the thing is,
Cynthia, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yes, please hit it. Nick has a lot of charisma. I like Nick. Nick Cannon because Nick isn't afraid to fail, and that's what make Nick so great in what he do. Because he done had a bunch of failed movies, and his rap career was trash, but it didn't stop him. And I guess you won't stop when you got millions and billions of dollars standing behind you. Eventually, gonna find that right spot to be at.
I think the best thing Nick Cannon could have did was start that Wild 'N Out show. To be able to have people to on impromptu just to come up with jokes, it had never been heard of before like that, and he did it big. He set the mark for that, and ain't nothing came since Wild 'N Out that's been that good, and it's always funny. And I love using they songs and stuff in my classroom. We do family reunion. Y'all know that family reunion game? Yeah. And who we interest, so I would split my class up into groups, and they would all get a historic figure, and they would have to introduce the historic figure in their 2 lines worth of rap, and they did it. They did it. So we love Wild 'N Out.
Yes, Nick inspired you.
Yes, he has. Yes,
And
he has.
I like that idea. That's
I
cool.
should take the recording because I still got it from a couple years ago. Take the recording and send it to Nick Cannon. Look what you got going on in the classroom, sir.
Show it on TV.
Althea said, yes, Wild 'N Out made him regardless of the money he had.
Yep.
I don't know. Wasn't he on Nickelodeon a lot at one time?
I kind of remember him on Nickelodeon.
He was on for years he was on Nickelodeon.
I think Nickelodeon made him, but Wild 'N Out brought him. I don't know how. I think y'all understand what I'm trying to say. It got him noticed. Nickelodeon got him noticed, but
Nickelodeon got him noticed. And gave him his exposure that he really needed.
Drumline is what got me to notice him.
Speaking of the
Drumline, but that was a great movie too.
Texas team is set to become the youngest Black law school graduate in the history of America. So Black excellence at its best. Congratulations.
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 Also, as a result of the Oscar, famous Will Smith slap that was heard around the world, Chris Rock wants $3 million to speak on Will Smith's slap and to expose Jada Pinkett and Will's other secrets.
I was reading the other day where Jada has went forward with trying to get a divorce. And I remember when we did the Althea
said, could you see anyone taking over Wild 'N Out after he was banned?
No, that need to be the end of it. That's like saying, could you see somebody playing, that's like saying, can you see somebody playing Uncle Phil? If he was
Prince.
Right.
I think it would have been a ruckus if they would have put somebody else on there. People would have been boycotting that show and all types of stuff. For real. I got a random thought. Sis, put your nails to the camera. Y'all look at these badass nails my sister got.
A random thought, you can't see them.
We see them.
Them bitches is bad. Y'all see them bitches is bad. Them bitches is bad. I caught a glimpse of the sparkle. I had to point them out.
Bye.
But check this out. Also, because of the Will Smith slap, Disney wants to pull Will Smith from the future Aladdin productions and replace him with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Well, if I was Will, I wouldn't give a damn if you pulled me from it. You done already paid me. And I still get a royalty pension off of it. So give it to whoever the hell you want to give it to.
Althea said, wow.
Oh, yeah. So when I was saying about, they were talking about how, I think they said Jada Pinkett is like worth $35 million herself, but Will Smith alone is like worth $350 million. And I think because they live in California, so she has a right to half of his fortune. But the thing where Will messed up was when she committed the adultery, in the marriage, he should have went ahead and filed, and that would have probably prevented her from getting more than half. But the California law also states that once you forgive and accept her back or accept him back, that automatically allows them to be forgiven by the courts for their adultery because you forgave him.
Well, that says you had reconcilable. It was reconcilable, not irreconcilable.
Right.
You have to have irreconcilable differences in order for it to be lawful.
So, I mean, I don't know what it is. I think about it sometimes is Jada has to have something real heavy over Will that man do not want to be exposed.
I
Well,
think
look,
he
Chris
might be
talking about
messing
$3
with
million.
men. He around there messing with men. I really think he messing around with men. And he don't want that part
Could
to
be
be.
that too. Could be part of the trafficking, sex trafficking. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. A Louisiana woman was accused of refusing to return $1.2 million after a bank error. Check this out.
Right horse. Asking the question, what?
Uh-oh.
You forgot to put the allegedly sign up when we were
Right
talking.
horse. Asking the question, what would you do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire? That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher, and instead of notifying the bank, well, she quickly moved the cash into another account, used it to buy a home and an SUV. Kellen Spadoni, who you see here, was arrested for theft, and tonight is facing a lawsuit from Charles Schwab after she ignored several of their attempts, they say, to contact her and get the money back. Night court is now in session with civil rights attorney Robert Patillo and criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Let's start here with Exhibit A. On February 23rd, Schwab meant to transfer $82.56 into a Fidelity brokerage account, services account, but the company instead transferred $1,205,619. Court records said. So, Robert, is their mistake?
Is their mistake, but that does not mean you have a legal right to that amount of money. Even best case scenario, if you were able to keep it, good luck explaining to the IRS where $1.2 million came from and paying the taxes on that. This is no different than finding someone's wallet and deciding to keep it when they ask for it back. Or if a Brinks truck accidentally dropped money off at your door, it does not mean that you are legally entitled to it. There's legal precedents on it where people back in the old days would cash those Publishers Clearinghouse checks that came to your house and occasionally bank to allow the transaction to go through, but then later on when they figured out the funds were not there, they would reverse it. So though I understand that most people don't have sympathy for big banks in situations like this, you don't have a legal right to it, and you're going to end up getting in more trouble than it's worth.
It sounds like she is right now, innocent until proven guilty, but facing a lot of charges. Exhibit B, then, we go to. The company argues in its lawsuit that Spadoni's account contract with Schwab, now this came from the Charles Schwab account, includes an agreement that if a client receives an overpayment of funds, the client is required to return the full amount. Brian.
Well, Shannon, first thing I'm going to do in the morning, I'm running over to Charles Schwab. I'm setting up my account there, and then fingers crossed, I get $1 million. Anyway, all kidding aside, last time I checked, we have a criminal court of law, not a moral court of law. And morally, this woman is incorrect, and she should do the right thing and transfer the money back. But the law is on her side, believe it or not. And I think it's going to trump that agreement that she signed, that she probably didn't even know what she signed, probably didn't even know what she read. But real quick, theft, felony theft is the charge. That means that this woman had to deprive money of someone else without their consent. Charles Schwab sent her the money, so that charge is going to get dropped. The last charge against her is bank wire fraud. Again, she has to show an intent to deprive Charles Schwab of money. Last time I checked, Charles Schwab made a mistake and sent the money to her. So in the real world, she might walk free and she might have $1.2 million. And she might have a wrongful termination case against the sheriff's department for firing her. They shouldn't have done that.
Well, she's got a world of trouble to fight her way out of now. I mean, Brian, maybe she'll call you up. You are the defense attorney of all defense attorneys. You've made your case. Robert has made his. And we're told, by the way, detectives have been able to get back about 75% of the money. So maybe there'll be some goodwill there. I don't know. Robert and Brian, thank you for your very effective lawyering. We'll leave it to the folks at home tonight. Use the hashtag night.
I'm just gonna be in a world of trouble because I ain't getting them a goddamn thing.
Y'all just put something on my canteen. I'll get back to you. I'm telling you right now, every one of these motherfucking gangster banks put $1 too much in my account. I'm doing just what the fuck she did. I'm just saying.
Can't give it back.
I'm just saying. Catch me later.
Yeah.
Listen. Of course, I didn't have nothing like that to that magnitude happen. But many years ago, before I had children, the insurance company sent me checks that they were supposed to have been sending to the hospital for my surgery. And they sent me 6 of them bitches. And I opened my mailbox. I was on the way, getting ready to go to New Jersey to on a trip. We had gave a bus trip. I stopped at the bank first and cashed them hoes. They shouldn't have sent them to me. They was made out to Adrian Willoughby.
Yep.
And I cashed them motherfuckers. And they tried to tell me to send it back to them. I didn't.
No.
I didn't. Because they shouldn't have sent it to me. It was made out to me.
Exactly.
And the lawyer made a valid point. The valid point when the one in the pink. Nothing that she did was criminal. She didn't go in there. She didn't hold the bank up. She didn't put no gun to their head and make them send it to her. Sometimes you make your mistakes. And when you talking about 1.2 million, matter of fact, I left the country the day that I realized that the money was in my account. When I would have got it, I ain't never been on nobody's plane, but that's the day that I got on the plane and went to Africa. I will be airing from Zimbabwe. We do it.
I'm with you on that, Legacy.
I agree with you.
Well, I had a situation like this happen to me about maybe, I want to say about 20 years ago.
Damn, you old.
I had an account, but I'm good. I had an account with the credit union, and they mistakenly deposited, I think it was either $2,000 or $3,000 in my account. And I withdrew the money, closed the account. And nothing's ever been said or done.
But I was telling Tony them last night, Juicy and Savage and Miss Adrian, Talma. It was when they was doing the unemployment thing, when it first dropped and they were giving out the $600. Whoever was issuing out the money ended up issuing out the man. They owed him back pay of $1,200, but the bank issued him $1.2 million. He said he took the $1,200 off the card and he called the IRS back a week later and told them, I think y'all made a mistake. Y'all issued me this much money and I only supposed to have been getting this. Say the people went and did a search and they could not find where they had to even issue him the money.
No.
They said that they couldn't even find it, Miss Adrian.
No.
Couldn't even find where they had issued him the money. But they told him thank you, and made sure he had his $1,200 and took the rest back. See, sometimes, that moral ethic stuff, sometimes you don't have to be moral when somebody who got plenty like banks that's been taking all this corruption stuff for years and years. Sometimes you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. You just got to ride that on out.
Yeah, I'm going to be locked up with that one if they ever deposit any money of mine.
I don't went to jail for way less. They're going to have to put that one on me. I sit down for 2.5, 3 for that.
Now, the thing about it is I don't even see how that could even be considered going against a moral, because unless I don't have the true understanding of what moral is. He received something, a gift, and or she did. She did nothing wrong, like the man said. She has nothing of obligation to anyone to give anything back. Once you receive, that is yours.
Well, I can understand why they say it's morally wrong. Morally it's wrong because it wasn't hers. That's why they're saying it's morally wrong. Because it wasn't hers. She knew it wasn't hers. She knew they made an error and she didn't give it back. That's why they're saying she's morally wrong. But fuck morals. You give me $1 million, fuck them morals. I ain't got none.
This man Schwab has money off of the backs of us, and morally, we all are entitled.
I'm still waiting on my 40 acres and a mule. I'm still waiting on my 40 acres.
I don't see. That's what I mean. I don't see how anyone can consider there's a moral issue when she got money from someone who owes us money.
That part.
I'd like to see you argue that point in court, Juicy. Please go and represent that lady in court.
One represent in the court is once, like he said, it was transferred to her. She has nothing to do with it. That's her.
That's it.
She received.
That's it.
But the crazy thing is this: she lost her job in the midst of this, and they
that's
fired.
Slander now. So now she has a lawsuit for slander. Now I can represent her on that by all means, because at that point she lost revenue.
Yep.
Exactly per the definition.
Okay. Y'all, this is so interesting. But anyway, let's move right along. Let's go into the letter of the day.
Dear ATL is a segment of the show where you, the viewer, can write in and tell us about what's going on in your life. And we will read your letter and respond to your letter live here on the air. So if you're experiencing relationship problems, best friend disputes, baby mama, baby daddy drama, marriage issues, church hurt, church issues, and many, many more, send your letters to theanthonybrownshow@gmail.com.
Okay, the letter of the day. Let me get over there.
Subject, she's got skeletons and bodies. Dear Steve and Shirley, I met my wife on an online dating site 2 years ago. All of the things she wanted in a male matched mine to a T. She had been married before, and I had been engaged, but I had called off my wedding in the nick of time. I shared my horrible experience with my wife, and I told her that my ex had a past that I was unaware of, and her own family was the one to tell me about her. My wife assured me that she had nothing to hide. I fell for her quickly, and we got married 3 months ago. She did not want a big wedding since she'd been married before, and I told her it was fine, but my parents wanted to have a nice reception for us. I invited my closest friends and family, and she invited a few of her friends and said her family wasn't able to travel. I met her mom, so I didn't understand why she couldn't come at the last minute, but I didn't let that spoil our day. At the reception, she knew one of my good female friends, but barely spoke to her. My female friend and I have been inseparable since we were in grade school, but she's got a wife now and a baby, so I barely get to see her. A few days after the reception,
what did you say? She's one of my
my female friend and I have been inseparable since we were in grade school, but she's got a wife now and a baby.
Yeah, that ain't
so I barely get to see her.
Just go ahead, my bad. I
Okay.
don't know why I focused on that, but that ain't really none of my business.
Yeah, you just wanted to make sure you were
Yeah,
clear
and I
what you heard.
apologize to anybody that thought I was making an issue out of it, because I wasn't. I just didn't know what I had heard. Go ahead, Shirley.
I got you. Okay. Moving on. A few days after the reception, my friend sent a plant to the house as a late gift, but it was only addressed to me. I called and asked if she'd forgotten to put my wife's name on it. She said she would have put her name on it if she knew her real name. She said my wife had changed her name and was still married to a man in Connecticut that she left high and dry. after he had a motorcycle accident. I did not believe it until I did a little research and I found out it was true. And she also had several dating profiles still open just to hook up with men for sex. I have no idea who I married. Should I contact her other husband and tell him to come and get her? Please help. Well, that would be a good start.
Man, looking for her?
I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
Who sent who a gift and they couldn't? Who sent them a gift?
One of his long-time friends from when they were back in school came to their wedding and sent a plant, a potted plant to their house as a late wedding gift, but it was only addressed to him. The reason why she didn't put the other person's name on it because she said she don't know her real name, because the fact that she knows for a fact that she's still legally married to another man back in another state, that she left him high and dry after he had an accident and became crippled.
So he can get his marriage annulled and carry on, but send him back to the other husband that ain't even looking for her. He glad she gone. Now you better just take care of yourself. Worry about you, man. Worry about you. I'm waiting on Mr. Legacy. Give it to them. I know you're about to go in.
I don't know. I mean, that puts a hole as a motherfucker, boy. Boy, when I tell you that puts a hole a motherfucker, man. This you don't do no search or nothing. What don't the courthouse supposed to do something to make sure that the person ain't married?
They're supposed to. They are supposed to. They're supposed to when that's the purpose of you going to the courthouse to get in the records and you submit all your information. They're supposed to do a search.
Maybe they just jumped the broom or something and said they went to the courthouse.
But they don't search other states. They only search within the state.
Right, their state. So
yeah, they don't search out of state. They only search their state.
Left Louisiana, we're not searching Louisiana. We're only searching Florida.
So, what is that? What is the proper name for a person? Is it bigotry?
It's a bigamist. Yes, it's bigotry. Yes, it's bigotry.
So you telling me it's just as simple for a person just to get married in Georgia? I don't want her no more. Go find a loved one in Florida. Get married again. I don't want to be with her no more. Go to New York and he can have 50 wives in 50 states because ain't no state doing no check to see if you married in any other state.
Correct.
Apparently.
And the only thing is they're just not paying for a divorce. That's all the person is doing is just not paying for a divorce. You got to keep that in mind.
But now check this. Because we don't pay for the divorce or do a proper separation, here it is, you still got a life
proper
insurance.
Separation. She left.
However you left. But we ain't been together and seen each other 32 years. I die. I got a life insurance policy. My kids are grown. She realized I'm dead because somebody let her know. She popped back up in this state as my wife. She get the money.
No,
she's the legal
That's
wife.
where the problem. You should have a beneficiary assigned to your life insurance policy.
Well, let's say I didn't do the due diligence to go ahead and divorce her. Let's say I also didn't do the due diligence to remove her from being my beneficiary.
Then she gets the money.
That's on you now.
Right. Yeah, that's why I say we have to do our due diligence and make sure that we go ahead and do it properly, because it does come back later to bite you in your ass.
I know a situation where one of my
money transferred to her account.
Well, exactly. I know one time when I was working at a local retail store, and my coworker, she and her husband had been separated for 20 years, but still legally divorced. She gone on with her life. She gone on with her life with her new boyfriend for years and years and years. He gone on with his girlfriend for years and years and years, but them two are still legally married. Him and his new girlfriend is living in the house that he owns. When he died, my coworker, who had not been with him for 20 years, is now the owner of the house.
That's what happened to my grandmother's friend. That's what happened. The only thing my grandmother's friend did was she let the lady keep the furniture. She said because she didn't want none of the furniture because they have been separated for 18 years. He had a brand new Cadillac. He had a house and all this brand new furniture. Miss Chink got all the money. She took the brand new Cadillac, took the house, and told the lady she could have the furniture because she ain't want that.
She got 7 days to get out.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what happened. A friend of mine in Georgia, God bless the dead, she and her husband were married for a long time, but you know, the man was he was living, he was doing some things with other women, and so you know the process started. The lady ended up fighting the lady, everything, but the dude ended up moving out the house, and when he moved out of the house, she went ahead and filed for divorce. You know how long that process takes. But the lady who filed for the divorce, she ended up getting ill. And as the months went by, she went ahead and passed away. But 2 days, the day she passed away was the day that the divorce went through. And was, you know, signed off on by the judge. And the husband thought, because she owned property, that didn't happen. And so he went to go kick out her children and to move him and his girlfriend into the property. And so happened that the lawyer called him to tell him that he has no entitlement to anything because she died the day everything went through from for the divorce was finalized the day either before she passed or the same day that she passed. That's when the judge had just signed off on the documents.
What?
He did. She had like 2 apartment complexes and like three homes, and he had all of that.
But you know what? Even if she would have died and those documents were already filed, they were already docketed.
Yeah.
It still would have been able to still been signed off on and not his.
But with that being said, too, Juicy, if he got a good lawyer, he can postpone the signing of it from the judge because at that time, because it hadn't been, you know, it would be up to the kids to fight it, and if they don't know how to properly fight, then you know how that goes.
Wow.
We don't be educated in nothing right. So people be taken from us and we don't even be knowing that we be all the way right because we just give up.
But we not to be squeegee man and stand at the 7-Eleven and wash your windows for some change.
Well, we have to do better.
Yes, we do.
It starts with teaching our children. It starts
at home.
Teaching our children better.
Yes,
exactly what I was saying.
It starts at home. You got to validate your children at home so they don't look for validation in the street.
Well, Miss Adrian and Juicy, what happened when you're doing all of that and they still do it?
Well, because sometimes it's nothing. Listen, as a parent, as we all know, doesn't come with the how-to guide. And I have taught my children and I have instilled right and wrong from in them. You know what I'm saying? And I've taught them the things that they should do. But there comes a point in time when all children are going to do the fucking opposite of what we taught them how to do. And it ain't nothing. That's not my fault. You understand what I'm saying? Because what you do as an adult ain't got nothing to do with me, especially if I know I taught you and I know you knew better. You know what I mean? You know better. I know what I taught my kids.
Who that's Daryl Blue?
In the state of Maryland, if you have not divorced your first wife, she is invited to your retirement. I know, because I got my husband's retirement and I'm divorced from him though.
Yep.
Because also in the state of Maryland, as long as you're married at least 5 years, you're automatically vested. So I automatically had got my husband's pension and everything. Sure did.
But
shit, I'm in the wrong state.
In some states also they state that as far as your Social Security benefits, if you're deceased or they retire, if you still married or just separated, even if you're divorced, if you only divorced 2 years removed, you still entitled to a portion of that disability money.
Yep.
Money, but 3 years you don't get anything.
I guess all of that, honey. I made sure of it.
Wow.
I need a do-over. I should have moved to Maryland first and then.
Now, but Maryland is a pain in the ass, though. Maryland is a pain in the ass because when me and my husband when I decided I wanted a divorce, by law, you have to be legally separated for a year before you can get a divorce. See, down here, you don't have to be legally separated a year. You have to legally be separated for a year, meaning you cannot live in each other's houses, can't spend no nights together, you can't do none of that for a year before you can get a divorce.
Isn't it where if you spend one night, don't care if you like 364 days, if he or she
gotta start all over again.
You gotta start it all over again.
Gotta start it all over again.
That is
and
tough.
if one of the parties decides that they don't want to get a divorce, the process starts over again as well. Because my ex-husband told him that he felt like we needed counseling. So the judge put everything on hold and told us come back and see him in 6 months.
I just said the same thing, Mello. That's tough.
Yeah, Maryland is a motherfucker. Also in Maryland, I was living down here and my ex-husband decided to go and put a car in my name. In Maryland, bought a car in my name. And it wasn't a damn thing I could do.
Because y'all won.
Because we were legally married. But the car, they told me if I had been married to him in Florida and I could have proved that I was in another state, that shit wouldn't have flew down here. But up in Maryland, I was like, he bought a car in 2010. I've been in Florida since 2008. And he put it in my name. And it wasn't a fucking thing I could do about it.
That was that good credit, baby. Them folks want to challenge that good credit.
Wasn't a thing I could do about it. And when the son of a bitch brought the kids down here for me to see the first time, he was driving that van. At the time, I didn't know that was my shit because I would have took it. I didn't know.
Hey, Miss Adrian, get what he told you, Miss Adrian.
Bro, you want to move to Maryland?
Kept me riding dirty. Mello, so that means if you ever want to get a divorce, which I don't think that'll happen, that means you can't go back over there and get none before it's over with.
Sure can't.
Keep it in your pants,
That's got to be y'all celebration.
You always want that one last time, you know.
Well, you'll be right back at one again, like Brian McKnight say.
And I start back at one.
But you see what I'm talking about, Tony? This is why I say it's just so hard, because the game is rigged.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's hard out here for a pimp.
Well,
you know it.
Thinking about that movie earlier.
Mello says, take over the game.
Take over the game in M-Town.
Yeah.
Did you say the game is rigged? Let's find out what the game is really about. Are women expectations realistic? What do women really want from men? I invited some women to come on the show tonight, but I guess they all chickened out. They all hit me up and said, yes, they're going to be here, but then chickened out. The only one showed up was Auntie Adrian. God bless her soul.
You knew I was coming for that. You knew I was coming for that.
I want to know from a woman.
You didn't have to ask her.
What
he already knew.
Really want from men, and be realistic about it. I mean, I want to hear from in the comment section. I want to hear from the single women. I want to hear from the dating women. I also want to hear from the married women. So I want to hear all an array of perspective, a broad perspective of answers. What do women really want? Because men want to know.
What about the hoes?
I want to hear from the single women. I want to hear from the dating women, and I want to hear from the married women.
No hoes.
No hoes.
Well, then that means you can't talk, Legacy. You got to be quiet.
Woman.
That means you can't talk.
Then why are you talking?
My bad, ladies.
Paula said, I'm here.
Hoes is versatile. Hoes is unisex.
I'm gonna listen, viewers. I'm gonna copy the link and put the link down in the comment section. If you want to come on live and share with us, just a brief second, what do you think women expect? Either type it in the comments, and we'll show it on the screen, or come on live. Click the link that I just put in the comment section, and come on live. Voice your opinion, say what you got to say, get off, and make room for the next person. But we want to hear from the females mostly tonight. We'll do our rebuttals, but we want to hear from the ladies. All the ladies in the house say, ow.
Ow. Ew. I was on mute when I said my ow.
So, yeah, we definitely want to hear from them. And I think there's a glitch in the system. I was gonna say I don't think I'm seeing the comments from Facebook, but I am because Ms. Paula's on Facebook. I see her comments. Okay, so good. We can see Facebook as well as YouTube. So if Ben Mo says yuck. So if you ladies are there, let us know what do you expect and want from me, and make sure that there are realistic answers. Men want to know. I think we're gonna give our opinions, Legacy, on what we think they want. I think women look for, a woman that's dating, that's mature and ready to marry. I think she's looking for stability. She's looking for not the Kevin Samuels women that's looking for a high value man. No, he could be a blue collar man. As long as he's making about 40, 50, 60,000, a decent salary, enough to sustain the household. Because if he's making between 50 and 70,000, and she too is bringing home between 50 and 70,000, boom, they're in there. You know what I'm saying? So collectively, they can sustain the household. So definitely stability. Definitely looking for some good sex, some good dick. Although sex is not a priority, it has its place in there. Because if you got poor sex in a relationship, then that also causes somebody to deviate. Now, here's the difference. If you have poor sex, a man will deviate a lot quicker than a woman. A woman, she'll put up with it. If all the other faculties are there and all the other qualities and all the other elements, she's going to put up with it. Man ain't put up with it. He's going to get him some good sex somewhere. She's also looking for, if she already has kids, she's looking for a man that's, if he's coming in the household as my boyfriend or as my future husband, she's looking for somebody that's gonna Ms. Paula said respect and honesty.
Put Mellows back up.
Mello said women expectations are unreal. Big facts.
Great fact.
Ms. Paula said good hair too.
So can you give us some ideas of what are unrealistic, maybe, of what men think are unrealistic? No, if the men make comments, let that be what they're commenting.
We're gonna definitely come back to that, but we want to feedback on what are y'all expectations?
I asked the question, and I got 3 ladies on the panel, and none of y'all said anything. So that means y'all.
I was just waiting. I was trying to give you other people to talk.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk over nobody. Mine is plain and simple. It's straight and to the point. I want a man that's okay with me being who I am. Meaning, my work ethic is going to always be the way it is because my mother beat that shit in my head. I got my first job at 12 years old and I've always had a job my entire life. I don't know how to cut it off and turn it off. And I want a man that is okay with me being the person that grinds the way I grind. Because all that other shit, I'm going to take care of what he needs. I know how to be a good woman to my man because every man that I ever had has wanted me back and has admitted once they got over being mad with me that I was one of the best women they ever had.
Ms. Adrian.
But I just want a man that's going to be okay with me, with who I am,
Ms.
my
Adrian.
strengths.
Monty Adrian, let me ask you this question based off of that, what you said. When you say your work ethic, and I've known you a little over a year now, and I know that you work hard. I know you love your kids, and I feel that you've always made yourself available to be the best friend or sister that you can be to whoever is in your circle.
Right.
But when you say that he has to accept your work ethic, are you if you're working, let's say, and I'm pretty sure you work way over 40 hours a week because you got different streams of revenue. Ms. Paula say before I move on, yes, that has been an issue in my past, Ms. Adrian. Okay, so with the work ethic that you have, if it's moving more into 60, 70 hours a week, how do you make time for your significant other?
For balance, right?
Right.
That's okay. So let me just be blunt, and I hate keep saying what the real issue is. The real issue is that every man I've ever had has a problem with the amount of money I make. That is what it always boils down to, me and my money and how much money I make. I am one of the most free-givingest people you'll ever meet. If I ever come into some lump sum of money, a bitch gonna have to watch me because I beat and gave it all away. But my money, going all back, first of all, I'm 52 years old and I've only been in 3 real relationships in my life. 3. One was I was 17, the other one was my husband, and then the guy that I started dating with when I was here. Now, I had those flings and stuff like that. So I'm basically a keeper. If I get in a relationship, you got long term with me. It's longevity with me. So in all 3 of the situations, it's always been about my money and the amount of money I make. So what I did with my ex-husband, I went and filled out an application for him for corrections. Filled it out for him. He gets a paper in the mail. It's like, Adrian, I got a application, a date to go take a test for corrections. He said, I didn't even fill out no application. I know, baby, I did. I filled it out for you. So he went and took the test. He aced the test. He became a correctional officer, and then he started being the breadwinner. So what I gotta say is that my ex-husband, he didn't have a problem with me and my money anymore because he grinded just as hard as I did. But then when I meet these other men, it's always an issue.
And you being a good woman, you put him in a place to be able to
able to win. Exactly.
Very good.
I always put my man in a position to, I ain't got no problem with going out there. Am I perfect? Absolutely. Look at Mello. Mello, you crazy.
Hey, Auntie.
You ain't been answering my question yet.
Mello say, what's up?
I'm going to always put him in a position to win because I want him to win.
Question. You didn't answer my question.
How do I balance the 2? Because I didn't want to say what it really was, Legacy. It's not so much about the amount of time I work. It's the amount of money I make.
Okay.
It was never about the time because I can always balance the time. So when I say my work ethic, I try not to horn in so much on the money part. But in reality, that's when it all boils down to. Mello crazy as shit. Now, Mello, I didn't say I was going to buy a nigga now. Now, don't get crazy. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out what your niche is, what your dreams and aspirations are, and I'm going to help you achieve those things because that's the kind of woman I am. I'm going to help you achieve whatever it is you want to do. I'm going to help you achieve that. I don't have a problem with that. So why is it that then I got to double it back on the men? Why is what I make such a problem? Because if I say we going to go eat and you short this week, don't even worry about what the bill going to cost, because I got that. And it's not that, and I keep saying this over and over again, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to take a man's role. I do need a man. No, I may not need him financially, but it's a whole lot more to a man than just his fucking money.
Yes.
I don't want to keep on going to bed every night lonely. I don't want to keep being in this position. But at the same time, I need a man that is mentally strong enough to understand that just because my income is more than yours, it doesn't mean that I think I'm better than you. Because if you tell me what your plan is, baby, we're going to get you to where you need to be so we can grind together.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Some men don't like independent women.
Yeah, Miss
Most
Paula,
men don't.
No, not independent. She said depending on women. A lot of men don't want to be dependent. Don't like to ask a woman for anything or have to depend on a woman. But we also I can't even say most, but some women that I've encountered, and if you look around in society now, they'll tell you now, I don't need a man because I make my own money. So Mello say, I got you on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I knew what she meant. She meant independent. She said most men don't like independent women, and they don't.
It's not. No, that's not true. That's not true, Ms.
Listen, well, what it is because they think that we don't need them. I can't speak.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I'm gonna say. It's not that they have a problem with independent women.
No.
A man, like I said on a previous show, a man comes around because he has to feel needed.
Right, you said that on my post, and I don't know if you saw it. I made a video back to you about that. I get it. So I can't speak for none of the rest of my sisters, but I can speak for Adrian. I need you motherfuckers if you're out there. I do need you. No, I don't need your money, but I do need you. Because when I finish bouncing up all day, I want to come home and be with you.
You see what you just said? I don't need your money. But see, he needs to think that you do.
Well, I can't help that. I can't help that because I'm never going to apologize for what I make. So I guess I'm going to go to my grave single.
This is what Ms. Adrian said, Tony, when she say that. She's not saying, I don't need your finances. She's not saying that. She's saying, and I hear her. You're saying, I'm not coming to dig in your pocket if we're going to be a team. Then my money is yours and your money is mine. I'm not coming to get you and bringing you into my life to take care of me. We can do this together, but at the same time, where you have me, I have you. And that's what men are looking for, to have someone to say, baby, I'm going to stack, like we talked about my auntie. Had my auntie had to stack that little extra money that she was taking for them 30 years, they'd have been sitting on about 80 racks when my uncle retired.
Right.
And that would have been a pension fund for them to live off on top of the retirement and all the other money.
There you go. That's it.
So to have a woman saying, baby, I don't plan on going nowhere. This ours monies. I'm putting this over here for us for when we get old and we can travel. That makes the man say, you know what? God damn, I got me a good queen over here.
Tony, and in that video, what I said back to you when I gave an example of when I said, it's been situations where I know, like if somebody say to me they need to borrow some money, right? And I go to them, baby, look, so-and-so asked me, could they borrow a couple of dollars? Now, I know I don't technically need his permission, but I want to make him feel included in it. Or if I say, I've even gone as far as to say, you know what, baby, I want to go and buy this and I want to go buy that. What you think? You think I should go and do that, or you think I should wait? I do stuff like that to include them. Just because I know I can go into the bank account and get the money and do it, I don't do that. I go to them and I talk to them and I make them very much a part of my decision.
That's it. That's all of them. And Ms. Paula say, I have learned
to answer what I want and let men do for me.
Right. And that's the thing. Tony hit it on the head when we talking about men and we simple. We're simple. The thing what Miss Adrian just said, she knows she got her own money. She knows she ain't got to ask a grown-ass person to go spend none of her money.
But I do it anyway.
But
Hold
to
on, Miss Paula said it's hard when you can make your own money. When you make your own money and buy what you want.
Just make him feel inclusive.
Right.
inclusive. Because guess what? He wants to feel like his woman. And it's fun. I'm gonna say this. I think every man knows the woman he chooses that he loves the most. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, men love to just latch on the women that need or have low self-esteem." No, we just want to be included in the thought process.
Exactly.
Because guess what? Of course, how would you feel if you and your husband got a fund and like Miss Avery say, somebody needs some money and he don't and he can get it but he go and say, no, go get it.
No, go get it, ladies. Mellow said.
Listen, I'm
Miss Paula said, yes, men want to feel needed.
That's simple. We're simple. Because if I go in there and take them $1,700 out of the account and give it to my brother, and I ain't came and told you about this, matter of fact, not told you about it, ask you would it be okay, because I don't know what you got planned.
Right.
And guess what? Even if I go in my own account and take my own money and do it, that woman still want to know, well, baby,
don't do it.
That nigga ain't got no goddamn job to give you that money back.
Right. Okay. That's the reason why I want. Hold on. I'm gonna say this and I'll let you talk, Juicy. That to what you just said right there, Legacy. A lot of the times too, when I go and ask these men their opinion about buying or lending something, is because I really need a bitch to reel me back in. If you walk in this walk-in closet of mine right now, I got so much shit in there until I legit need somebody to reel my ass back in. It's like, babe, what you going to buy that for? You already got that in there. You know what I'm saying? Or like, baby, didn't you just lend her $500 the other week or $200 the other week? Didn't you? How many times? This the fourth of. So I'm legit going to them, not just to make them feel included, because I legit need guidance sometimes, because I spend, and I don't think sometimes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, GC. I'm sorry, baby. Y'all go ahead. I'm sorry. But to your point, that's me. I need to be reeled in.
So far from what I've met about you, I don't consider anything necessarily sorry. So you ain't got to say you're sorry. Not to me. You know, we all here sharing and talking. So I agree.
No, I mean, because I had cut you off. That's what I was talking about, baby. I had cut you off. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to catch that point with Legacy. So I definitely need help. I do. I need somebody to help guide me, because I get tired of being the one to be strong all the time. I get tired of being strong all the time.
Before you go, Miss Paula say I play helpless a lot, and I got it.
Who you trying to visit, Mello? Who you trying to visit? You don't want these problems.
Just to respond to what Miss Paula said about you have to make a man feel needed. I have been doing some real self-reflecting on my marriages, and I lacked in that part. I never. It's times where I didn't make my husband feel like he was needed because I wanted to be so independent. I was raised to be independent, but like Sis said, and Miss Paula said, you got to make them feel needed, and that's one of my faults that I could, honestly at this point in my life, admit to not doing in my marriages. Because if you ain't got it, okay, well I'm finna go get it.
So like in tuning into topic with the expectation.
Go ahead, Kate.
As far as having expectations, I have been I have no expectations, because that's part of my agreements is to accept people for who they are and where they are. But in these last few years, I've started to realize that that's not where the world is. And I need to, when I meet people, have an expectation, because these individuals don't know how to have one of themselves. So whereas I'm okay to accept them for where they are, they need that boost to say, but I expect you to be here. Like I met a man, and he went to open the door. He walked through the door at first. He looked back at me when I walked through the door like I should have been saying thank you, because he opened the door for me. And I'm like, excuse me, but you opened the door for you and you held it for me. I mean, I appreciate the gesture, but you didn't open it for me. That wasn't my thank you. That was like, thank you for it not hitting me in the face. Appreciate it, but I mean, where I owe you a thank you, you know. I felt he did something. And I said to him, I said, you know, I teach my sons that man will open the door for a woman, for elderly people, and for young men.
Kate, read that real quick while you're talking.
Cheerleader and comment on little things that he doesn't think you notice. So I realized that first off, all of these points that are being made to me are not the expectations of a woman. That's a woman pleasing what a man wants. So that ties into, if I need to have an expectation, I need to expect these men to have some security about themselves, some confidence in who they are, not to feel needed, not to feel needy in order to feel needed. Because if they're there, they're needed. I don't see no woman having a man in their life just to have someone taking up breath, sitting around for no apparent reason. There is a need. Everybody is in each other's life. We should be making each other feel comfortable. We should be making each other feel happy. So those are expectations. Those are on like a Facebook post. I think we should be in the world what we desire of the world. So if I want people to treat me with the love that I give, that's why I give it, so I can receive it.
Kate, let me say something on that. I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, because every man should have expectations. Every woman should have expectations outside of, I'm just trying to get a man that got money, because that's where the world is now. That's why Tony said one of the first things out of his mouth when we started this was, we're not just talking about the high value men. We're talking about men in general who want something out of life, whether he's a white collar or a blue collar, just someone that's willing to bring something to the table to make the playing field even. And the worst thing that ever happened, and I'm sorry to say this, but that when I look around and I look at from our ancestors, I look at Harriet Tubman, I look at Sojourner Truth. As strong as those black women were, they were humbled enough to have white husbands, and they forged a way for us. You know, the Underground Railroad and all this thing right here, that was from a woman. And even when I look at women who stand up today in today's time, the whatever movement we've ever had to empower black people, if you look at history, black women have been at the front of the line. But they also knew how to make their husbands feel wanted and needed as strong as they were then. But now we have this, I'm independent, I don't need a man shit. And even though everyone is looking,
but is that from a wife? Is that from a wife?
You in order again, Tony, hold on. Again, Tony says this all the time. Again, Tony says this all the time. In order to be the wife, in order to be the husband, you have to start doing those things in order to get to be those things.
The other person
but in the comment you just said, you said the husband is this. So if the husband is that means he has a wife. That husband's wife is not saying I don't need a man, because she has a man.
Right. That's why.
So when you say the woman who is saying I don't need a man, yeah, maybe she should do things in order to get a man to have that husband. But at the same time, that's not the wife saying I don't need a man.
Okay, read
that's
that while
two
you're
different
talking.
situations.
Read that while you're talking.
I expect him to show me love in good times and bad. I expect him to be my helpmate. My boyfriend is a mortician. And I tell him after each funeral, good job.
And see, but let me finish saying what I was saying, Kate, please. I was saying that these women have always been great. And they've always, I'm pretty sure Malcolm's wife didn't want him to sacrifice himself. Martin's wife, Medgar Evers' wife. These were hard-ass jobs for these women to have to end up losing their husbands and raising their children by themselves. But they were humble enough to know that, yeah, I could leave him and get another man, but they love for real. So when we talk about the movement of I'm being independent, this movement of women who say they are independent, they get their own money, they make their own this, they got their own that. At the end of the day, they're poisoning the next generation, because you can still be independent and still know how to be a woman to a man.
Exactly.
That doesn't hinder you or stop you from being what you're born to be. So when we tell you guys, when we tell you ladies that, and I don't base this off of the women that I know, I base this off of what I read in the statistics and the podcast shows where women are coming on and they're talking about they don't want a regular dude that go to work. They want a high value man. And I guarantee you, I watch so many podcasts that the shit becomes poison to me, because I'm like, damn, you overlooking all these guys that can still give you a good life, but you're so independent that you feel like you don't want to have to help. You don't want nobody that can't support you, not nobody who can help you. You want somebody that can support you, meaning allow you to keep your money as he slave and break his back to keep your lifestyle. And there are women who work and support and take care of men the same way that I'm speaking. So I'm not leaving anybody out. But what I'm saying is this independent movement, I don't need a man and I don't need a man, and I've proven it on these shows before. There's no race of people that talk about they don't need a man more than the African American sisters. No race.
So can I tell you what that really means? And I say it all the time to my sisters when I'm talking to them. Every woman wants and needs a man. They don't want to deal with the bullshit that comes with being in a relationship. We all want a man. Who the fuck doesn't want to be in a loving relationship? Who wants to go to bed with one side of the bed empty? Who wants to go to bed and will have to deal with life, period, without having a partner? They don't want to deal with the bullshit that comes with being in a relationship. That's what it is. It's not that they, and then too, when you speak about those women from back in the day, the women back in the day stayed with their men because that's the way they were taught. So now when you got and women were having babies. Women that were our grandmothers' ages were teachers. Nowadays, you got teachers that are fresh out of high school. You got babies having babies. You got grandmothers that are 40 years old and they grandmothers. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a whole generational thing, and then everybody wants what they see online, and it's just all fucked up because the perception is off. The whole perception of what life and relationships and everything is about. And I'm gonna say this, and I kind of try to be careful and tread lightly when I say it, but it's the truth. The two most powerful people in this world is the white man and the black woman. And I say that because our black men are not given the respect that they are due. They have had to sit back for years and watch their women be molested and raped by their masters. They had to watch their children being pulled away, and they weren't put in a position where that they could fight and stand up or be a man for their family. And then the black woman is the one that's been running the households for over 400, 500, 600 years. Two most powerful people in the world. And people want to argue with me about that, but it's the reality of it. It is the reality of it, and it's no disrespect to my black men. I ain't never been with nobody but a black man. I don't even drink white milk. I have never dated outside of my race. I don't. I think, and it's the God's honest truth, I can't be no more serious than I am right now. I absolutely love the black man. But the black man is an endangered species. They're killing our black men off, and they don't give our black men the rights, and they don't give them they don't allow them to be in charge of anything. So now it turns around where the women are starting to have that lack of respect for men because this is what society does to our black men. A lot of people want to argue with me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, but I ain't wrong. Read the history books.
You did on. You know exactly what you're talking about, and you're absolutely right, 100%. I agree with you.
They don't.
You know, when
Black
you were
men are
saying
endangered
legacy,
species.
when
Well, that's
when you were
Adrian.
saying legacy about as far as the relationship and the women and how they are today. I was a wife when I got divorced. My husband didn't want a divorce. He divorced me because I asked for it as my birthday gift. No.
Drugs. Eddie King said drugs plays a major role. Ms. Paula said you are correct.
Mm-hmm. And so being divorced and being a single mother, a single woman, looking to have another relationship of the future, what I run into as far as my experience, whether it be a man of high caliber or low, again, like Miss Adrian said, they need to be able to accept me for who I am and what I bring to the table, because I'm accepting of them and who they are. The relationship doesn't flop because of our expectations or lack of with each other. The relationships usually don't continue on, and it would be a lot containing to sex. And I hear you when you say that we should be giving and playing the role of in order to be the wife of. I totally always and will still disagree. Yes, that might be what the TV show, that might be what society say, but it still is not. When we want to talk about that girl should morally give the money back, then we should morally encourage these women to still have self-discernment about who they are, and have the men accept their expectations should be in a man. Accept me for being a woman. I expect you to respect me. I expect you that when you decide you want my body for it, it's to be your wife, not for you to figure out if you want to be my husband, because you know all that I bring to the table don't have to be what needs to be. And so I expect topic. And that's where if women don't know that they should have these values and they should only go with the way the TV is, then how will we bring forth a change? Don't we want change?
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you say that statement, I understand you saying that everybody should, but let me ask you a question. Would you marry a man who is willing to, hold on, let me read this. Eddie King say, you got weak men. People always say what you let a person do. Remember, they do not tell.
It says you got weak men. I think he meant you got weak men. People are always saying what you let a person do. Remember, they do not show, they tell colors. I don't know what Eddie's trying to say, but I guess he means that people don't show their true colors
until the end. But
that's true.
Let me finish saying this to you, Kate. Could you see yourself, and Miss Adrian and Savage, you can chime in too. So you can see yourself buying in to being married to a man. Now he does everything you ask. He's not pressuring you for sex before marriage, but would you be willing to subject yourself to marry a man who has no work ethic and tell you, I'm gonna get a job when we get married? When we get married, that's the day I'm gonna go get a job.
Okay, behind down. That's a dumb question.
Answer to me where the validity in that is.
That's a dumb question.
Listen. Hold on.
If that man is making it that time without having a job and he's doing what he need to do, he's home, he's successful, he's doing what he need to do to sustain himself. Hey, I'm sustaining. I'm not looking for a man to come in and take care of me financially.
So that's not what I'm asking. That's not what I'm asking. I didn't say one time. It's the same way that Miss Adrian said earlier, that she don't need a man financially. She just want a partner that if she falls on hard, she know he got her and she got him if it falls the other way. So what I'm saying to you is, you're saying that a man should respect the fact that if he's gonna be with you, okay, we got
the true color. when he and she knows she got you.
So what I'm saying to you is, if the man promised you, he does everything except for right now, he ain't looking for no job. He got enough going on where he's able to sustain himself. But he ain't looking to better himself. He don't need a job. He doing whatever it is he do. And he tell you, but the day that I marry you, I'm gonna go out there and get me a 9-to-5. Are you willing to go for that?
No. You want to know something? You want to know something, Legacy? I wouldn't even encourage that because I'm not one to encourage a man to go get a 9-to-5. So honestly, I would encourage him. Okay, I don't say go get a 9-to-5, but let's tap into some creativity. Let's build something. Let's create, because that's what teamwork and mastermind. And we need to come together and have. And it ain't half for the next man. It's half for us and for our future. So all that you
Legacy
speak about
not being Pacific. Y'all gonna be sleeping on the park bench.
No, what I'm asking her is,
I'm sleeping on the park bench because I'm already not sleeping on the park bench.
So what I'm saying,
and the thing of it is if that man doesn't have, but if that man does not have the means to take care of himself prior to, I'm not even coming to anyone without the means to take care of myself.
What the question that I'm trying to ask is, if a man is willing to accept you with your demands of waiting till you marry me before you can have my body, he's telling you, if his demand was for you that, look, I'm gonna get a job, I'm okay with making these little side $700 every month. Are you willing to say, well, that's cool with me, and when you decide that when we get married, you're gonna go look for a job and then we can be one, then that's what you're asking a man.
Okay, how about this? My ex-husband, I met him, he was a private. And he was like, I'm in love with you. I want to be with you. And I said, well, I'm going to let you know, when you're a sergeant, I'll consider marrying you. When I got proposed to, he was a sergeant.
The reason why I say keep shaking my head, no legacy, because like I said, you have to be it before you be it.
Totally.
And if you're not being it, being husband, before you become the husband, there's no guarantee that he's going to be.
Exactly.
You're giving him. Let me finish, because what you're doing is you're giving him a way out or an excuse. So that if in fact that, let's say, he never live up to your standard at marriage, you allowed it. You know, you have to set a standard prior to, for example, there's certain qualities that he must bring to the table, not just the table, but bring stuff to the table as well. There's husbandly, so that he's showing you husband qualities. And when Adrian said he's able to sustain his own as well as me and me versus vice versa, yeah, you have enough money to sustain you and yours. He has no money to sustain him and hers, but does he have enough to sustain you? What if you get into a car accident? Your bills don't stop. Your livelihood doesn't stop. Your children's expectations don't stop. Everything must continue going on as if it was normal, if he's your man, even before the marriage. If he's your man and y'all planning on getting married, he should be in a financial situation to sustain him, you, and you come with a package. You got children. You have minor children. So you got you, him, and children. And he may even have children. So that's what we mean when are you willing to accept him saying, I'll get a job after I get married, or are you going to expect that prior to? Because he needs to show you that before you get married.
Exactly. And you have to show one juices. And I'm not just, me and you always battle about this. And I know when you say things about toward me, because I'm going to answer that. I just don't, I think everybody should, and I value your opinion on what you stand on. But when this ideology that goes out amongst the world, that we gotta, Eddie King say, legacy, let's be real. You know how a boy is. A real man never needs a woman. A man is very independent and will be there to help the woman. And there's nothing wrong with that, Mr. Eddie King. But it has to be vice versa. That's the stronghold that continues to build our race, because we have to have something that we can follow. Because at any time, the way society is today, guess what? You need 2, 3, 4 incomes. Inflation is
You
a
know, the
motherfucker.
thing about it is, I don't even think you all truly listen to hear what I said as far as the answer. You just automatically consider it to not be because it didn't fit into the way it should have been worded. But like what I said, even with my first husband, was that when he said interest in wanting to be my husband as a private in the military, the standard that I said to him was, we can be engaged. That's an engagement. And when you're a sergeant, consider
No,
marriage.
I
When
understood.
he proposed,
The sergeant was perfect. That was a perfect example because you set a standard. Because you probably already knew what sergeant's income is and what their, So when you set that standard, that was perfect. But when his example was, he asked, "Are you willing to accept a man that's saying I'll wait till I get married to get a job?" That's what I was referring to.
Exactly. Because what you're telling,
so what I had said as far as the answer to that was, if I meet this man, say I meet Legacy, and Legacy is a man, he has his own place, he's doing what he needs to do, but he's not clocking in. Whatever he's doing in his livelihood is sustaining himself. I mean, he's holding him down. I ain't doing it for him.
Right.
And then he says, you know what, sweetheart, I want to marry you, but I think that when we get married, we're going to need this set of income, and I'm going to keep doing this. He could have a business. He could be a truck driver, but then he thinks that by the time, he comes in forms of marriage, he wants to settle down, get a 9-to-5. What if, and even if it's a price cut, pay cut, you get what I'm saying? He's still presenting something, the same as what Legacy's saying, so that he can contribute more to what we're being and building. That's fine. That's still someone coming without showing a responsible me. Now, okay, Legacy, I ain't dealing with nobody who ain't got no sense. I ain't dealing with nobody that I could look at and be like, okay, they trying to run game, they trying to manipulate, they trying to use. I'm not no payer. So that person's not gonna come to me and get over in a sense of how I see it. They can come with an open mind. My expectation is they need to have.
They just said, how can I call the show?
Tony,
Yes.
Mr. King wants to come on to the show. We've deleted our phone to where you can't call in, but you can we'll put the link in, Eddie, if you really want to be a part of it, and come on to the show live and give us your opinion.
Yeah, the link is in the description. Just click the link and come on in the room.
But the thing and I do hear that, Juicy, but what I'm saying is it's kind of hard. Let me just do a roundabout, and this with all due respect. I'm gonna ask these three. We already know Juicy's standpoint, but I'm gonna ask Ms. Adrian. I'm gonna ask Savage. I'm gonna ask the ladies in the audience, and I'm gonna ask Aunt Tam. I know you might be driving, Mama, but give a loud comment like you always do. Can you guys see yourself saying your significant or telling a man that we gonna get married, but I'm gonna wait till we get married to see what you're working with, to see if you're gonna satisfy me in the bed? Or do you have to, or would you like to at least know if you're gonna be satisfied with your significant other before you get married?
I at least need to see the package. I mean,
hold on, you say all the time a person can have a big package and still not know what to do with it.
Right, but I can.
You can teach a person what to do.
That's what I was trying to say, because I didn't sleep with my husband before we got married. Mm-hmm. We didn't sleep together until after we got married.
How long did y'all date before y'all, or how long did y'all date before y'all got married?
We didn't date long at all. We might have dated maybe 4 or 5 months. We didn't date long at all.
Okay,
but
That's the same amount of waiting time remember we were talking about the 90-day. You gave that man 120-day trial period. He passed it. He got you. He got some cooter. But if the man ain't trying to get married that damn fast, now guess what? He gonna be dry dick for a while.
But whose fault is that?
So if Juicy, I asked you on a podcast before too. If we were serious and I told you in 2 weeks or a month that I wanted to marry you, and my whole objective is to get some pussy, guess what? I still did what I wanted to do.
You know,
Legacy, you're changing.
are the exception.
Hold on. You're changing the trajectory of the topic. It's
my bad.
Okay. You're trying to go back to legacy world.
Juicy do that to me sometimes.
I don't know why.
Juicy
got him crazy.
Okay, and Juicy is crazy. Shit.
Well,
yeah.
There you go, Mr. King. You can come on in. That's the link right there. Ms. Adrian, while we waiting on Mr. King to try to come on, since Tony said since we right here, what you think?
What about me having a man, making a man wait, or what? Me waiting until the man. First of all, I'm not getting married again, so we fucking.
Week.
Y'all what, Ms. Adrian?
We fucking because I'm not getting married, so I'm being honest. I don't have let me say this. It's not my objective, and I could be wrong, but this is my opinion. This is how I feel. I don't have an objective of being married again. I'm not looking, sure, I don't mind having a lifelong partner, but if I don't ever get married again, I'm not going to be upset.
Miss Adrian,
now, you know what, Miss Adrian, I could feel that difference between you and me. I have younger children. So I want a lifelong partner to help set an example for how they need to see and be, you know? So it's an expectation in there. Now, if I was without them, I feel you if a man approached me and said, I don't want to get married anymore. I want this. Now, at that point, that's a negotiation. So we both offer it.
Hold on, baby. We got Miss Kiel Eccles. I think that's you, Miss Kiel.
Hey, how you doing, Legacy? I was just listening to the broadcast because I said I couldn't even take this. First of all, I want to say hey to everybody. And I want to say this because a man should be stronger. A man should never want to be in a relationship and don't have nothing. And why would you be with a person if your glass is full and their glass is half full? If you sit there and tolerate stuff and you allow that to go on and on again, then guess what? That's what a person in a relationship gonna do. I joined the show because when I was hearing it, I just got out of a bad toxic relationship. I thought this person loved me. We did everything together. I thought this person loved me. But at the end of the day, this man, people was telling me he was out there cheating. And then when I found out that this man was really cheating, this man won't allow me to talk to nobody, be around nobody. Only thing I could do is go to work and come home and be underneath him.
How long were y'all together?
Huh?
How long were y'all together?
2 years. And this man found a way to be out my sight. I work, and I don't know what he's doing when I'm not around him. But then I found out he had a whole brand new woman in Georgia, and I was sitting down there working 2 jobs. Yes, he helped me. Yes, we were doing things together. But he had a street life and he had a bestie. I call it whatever. But a real true man will be there for their woman and not treat them like trash. And a woman would do the same thing. They both supposed to hold each other down. But you got people that's very immature. I mean, not mature enough to be there for their woman.
Miss Kia, man, I'm gonna just piggyback on what you said. You said y'all were together in a 2-year relationship, And during them 2 years that he basically kept you isolated, all thing you could do is go to work and home. And what I want to say to that is, and correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm out of line, but I feel that we as individuals, whether it's male or female, you have to set the standard on what your expectations are when you go into a relationship with someone. And if that's not what you're getting from the other person, you should be strong-willed enough to move on. Because you didn't go into a relationship saying, I'm looking for somebody that's gonna isolate me and keep me home. You said I'm looking for somebody to love me, care for me, comfort me, protect me, shield me, make me feel safe, that we're gonna enjoy life together, build an empire, fucking suck, whatever. So when certain things in your criteria, what you deem a normal, realistic relationship is not existing and not happening, then you need to ask yourself, do I need to stay in this? Because the signs were there, you just was ignoring them.
And I understand that, and I didn't take the time out. I didn't take the time out to focus on that. My thing is to go out there and do what I had to take care of myself. But when I realized what it was, I had to get out of that toxication. I mean, it was just that when they use that word, love is blind. Love is blind. A person don't show you their true colors until the end. A person could treat you like a bunch of roses, but once they know they got you, then they want to show their true colors. You can't just sit there and say, but you got into something, but not realizing when it get to a certain point, that's when a person starts treating you like trash. And that's when you have to move on with your life. A lot of people can tell you what you can't see, but then when you really see it, that's when you gonna make that choice to leave.
Now let me ask you this: from the time that once you saw the signals and saw the signs and heard the rumors, how long was before you got out?
I mean, it took a moment because, like I said, I work every day. Every day I work, so it never had dawned on me yet. It took a while.
Pertaining to the topic, and it's about expectations. In your relationship, was he meeting your expectations and always, and that's why you weren't able to see that he was cheating?
Yeah, I mean, he did everything. I got massages. I got everything I needed. I got everything I needed, but it's just the point when I go to work and I come back home, he's just a totally different person. I had everything I wanted, just that he started changing over time.
So how was your friends able to see and tell you about he's a cheater that you didn't see it?
Because at the time, like I said, I wasn't focused on all that. All I was focused on is working and making sure that my kids was all right, taken care of. At that point, it was not like I was trying to be on negativity. I was going through much stuff at work, so it was not easy to pay attention, because when you're going through stuff at work and then when you come at home, you tired and don't want to be bothered half of the time.
Good night, Paula.
Now let me ask you a question, because tonight's show is about men's expectations, not women's expectations.
No, I thought it was about women's expectations.
Women's expectations for what? A man, right?
For a man.
Okay, because we're saying that the expectations were.
So this whole time, that's why you've been like that on the show. You had the whole topic wrong.
I just can't
over. Rewind.
I just can't let nobody.
Legacy know how men be. That's why I call them boy, because Legacy know how these men is. They sit here and play these mind games, and then when they got a woman, then that's when they want to take full control, or the other way around. That's why I say being in a relationship, you can try to get to know a person till they start showing their true colors, and then now you got to work yourself out. That's just like you go for a job interview and everything sound good and you hire a person, and then you find out this person ain't even what you thought it was when you first seen him.
But Ms. Elker, let me ask you a question. I hear you say that the gentleman met all your expectations. But let me ask you this: how long was it before y'all lived it? How long did y'all date before the individual moved into your property?
How long did it take? I'd say what it was. Probably like 4 or 5 months. I don't let a person just move inside my house. It probably took longer than that.
So let me ask you a question. In 4 or 5 months, you feel that was enough time you knew that person enough.
No, you is not gonna get know a person like that until they move in. You will never know a person like that. Like I said, we was up and on. He had his own place. I had mine, but he used to come over, pick me up from work, give me food. I mean, buy me whatever I want, gave me whatever I want. I was spoiled. Trust and believe, I was spoiled. But I told you, over due time, things started changing. You know how men change.
Do you think had you allowed him to have his place, you have your place, and y'all just spent time in between each other's place instead of him being able to move into your place and make it his place when he already has his own, and that would have gave you enough time to evaluate who you were dealing with without having to go through so much of what you're going through. That's the thing. Women meet men and feel like because they're showing their best colors and their best hand within the first 5-6 months of the relationship, that it's okay for them to start moving in pants and drawers and toothbrushes and brushes and combs. And I mean, there's no way you can possibly know a man or a man know a woman in such a short period of time. That's 180 days. That ain't no lot of days to talk about.
Legacy, I get what you coming from, but no, it was not that kind of, it was never that type of party. Like I said, I stay busy and working. Okay. And like I said, well, let me explain it this way. Before he even got a chance to even move with me, I always seen him on the regular, and we always spoke, and it was never like, you just gonna come move in right then and with me. It was like a slow process. And like I said, it was very slow process and whatever. It was like, you know, like I said before, he showed me a lot of things at that time, and it was like, okay, but it was going good. Everything was fine. That's just like when you get married to somebody. Soon as you marry that person, everything went good for however long y'all been together. As soon as y'all get married, he or she show her true colors. What you gonna do? Go run down to the courthouse and divorce him because you thought this person loved you, and then you find out you just married this person, you spent all this money, and now this person wait a couple weeks down the line or part of money to him. What you gonna divorce him?
Yep.
Yes.
That's a waste of money, ain't it?
No, it ain't, because my sanity is worth more than that.
So what's more important, your mind, body, and spirit, and soul, or your money?
Now, let me just say this. A lot of times we as women, we see the things that these men do. We know what it is that they're doing. We know that the shit that they're doing is not right. But I'm going to speak for myself. I ain't going to talk about we. Let me speak about myself. That relationship that I was in with that dude that I was with when I got here in Florida, when I first met him, a part of it was because I wanted somebody to be there because my kids weren't here. So he kind of filled that void. So by the time my kids got here, we had only been together like a year, and then my kids got here. And then a lot of my attention was focused on him, but I was already vested in a relationship with him. And for the most part, everything was good in the beginning. But I could tell just by the way he had a certain pattern of the way he did things. And one day, I bullshit you not, he came to pick me up from work. We riding down Federal. And out the blue, he starts talking to me about he wanted to go visit New York. I hit the motherfucking brakes on my heart. I almost threw that bitch through the windshield. I said, who the fuck you been talking to? Who you been talking to? Who you been talking to? Because here your ass is cold in here with the air conditioner on, and your ass want to go to New York. Who you been talking to? A couple weeks later, I found out he had been talking to this girl that lived in New York. So we know the signs, but just sometimes just the hassle of we're okay with the familiar. So I already know him. I already know what he's about. I already know his bullshit. I'd rather just deal with this bullshit with him rather than to go out here and you don't lay next to a man every night and not know that they're doing something. You ignore it. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you got going on. I don't care how busy you are, how much you work. I did all of that. But I knew when that motherfucker was messing around. I just ignored it because I didn't want to have to face it, and I didn't want to have to deal with whatever I was going to have to deal with. I didn't feel like him lying to me. I didn't feel like finding out the truth and then being hurt. I just didn't feel like it. So I kept ignoring it. But I knew.
Sometimes
I just didn't want to admit it. I knew. Because you can't live across the street and tell me this man I live with and sleep with every day is fucking somebody else. Because I smelt that hole on him when he came in the house. I just didn't feel like saying nothing. I'm just telling you.
Sometimes women tend to settle for less.
Yes.
Settle for exactly. Because you feel that, well, I got this piece of man. I'm teaching that song said, "A piece of man is better than no man at all." So I'm gonna just go with it.
And I used to feel like that at one point, but I know better now. When you know better, you do better.
Now you know a peace of mind is better than no
yes, a peace of mind. Once I got that out my system, because one thing I didn't do, my children are grown now, but my kids never saw me but with two men in their entire life, their father and the dude I was with for 7 years. They're the only two men my children ever saw me with that ever lived in my house, that ever crossed my doorsill. That was it. It wasn't until I met that old narcissistic fool in North Carolina that my kids, and now my baby's 22. But that was the first man that they ever seen me with after those 2 long-term relationships, because I didn't believe in bringing anybody to my house. You ain't meeting my fucking kids. You damn sure ain't coming to my house or staying in it. Them sheets is pristine and clean, baby. Ain't nobody done laid that mattress is fresh and crisp because ain't nobody been in that bed. That's just the way I am.
Ain't no ski on there.
No, none of that. None of that, honey. Ain't none of that going on.
Might be a little
none of that going on. Now my kids are grown. Now if I decide, and even though my kids are grown, I'm still not going to be having nobody coming up in and out of my house, running in and out of my house. I'm just not. Because that's just my choice. I don't knock nobody who do what they do, but that's my choice. But at the same time, sometimes you just want to, it's just easier to deal with the bullshit you're dealing with because you don't want to deal with the drama of everything else.
That's true.
Well, I'll stay here and be by my goddamn self, me and my glam baby now, because I know better and I'm doing better and I ain't putting up with it. And I ain't interested in getting married again. I'm just not. If it happens, it's going to be an act of God. Because I'm not looking for it. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm just not.
Adrian, that's what I was going to ask you. Because we as humans, we can't control who you fall in love with. Because love.
No, you can't.
You fall in love tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
I hope not.
So being that you can't control who you fall in love with, I was going to say, if love comes along and some Prince Charming sweep you off your feet, and then propose to you, it's on and popping.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. I didn't say that. I just said I'm not looking for it. Right. It's like some women, their goal is to find a man, settle down, and get married. That's what a lot of women's goal is. That's not mine. That's not mine. If it happens at the end of the day, great. But that's not my goal. That's not my objective. Just like, and it may sound cliche or whatever, I'm not interested in owning another house. I've owned 2. I had one built. I bought another one. I rent now, and I'm all right with that. Now, if something happens and I fall into some big lump sum of money where I can go and buy another house, that's fine. But it's not my objective to go and buy another one because there's so many things that I've been there, done that, wrote the book on it. If it doesn't happen again, I'm okay with it. Okay. I sure want me another relationship, though. I sure want me another relationship.
Ladies, we're at our time. We're over 3 minutes. I would just like to we can finish this behind the screen tonight. But I would like to just give a shout out right quick to Miss Eccles for taking the time out of her day to be able to come on to the show. We miss you, Miss Kill, for giving shout outs and coming on. You must have had some downtime today. I want to give a shout out also to Auntie Adrian. She always comes in and doing her best and bring energy and things to the podcast. So we're gonna get ready to chime out tonight. And
all right, y'all.
No, man, I said you gotta give these people
I ain't going nowhere. I was just waving to the people. Y'all look, Legacy going now. Me and you done got along today. So if y'all want to find me, there I go. There I'm at Facebook, Adrian Willoughby, IG, Sweetie Peach 70. My TikTok is Adrian Willoughby 3, and my YouTube is Real Talk from My Kitchen to Yours. And my email is Real Talk from My Kitchen to Yours at gmail.com. Deuces.
Thank you, Auntie Adrian. Appreciate you coming out and doing the thing. We're gonna bring to what you gotta say, Miss Eccles?
I was just saying thank y'all so much for even having me on the show. And thank you for y'all for giving me the knowledge. And I understand what she was saying, but like I said before, love is blind, and we do allow things to go through the creeks and all that when it comes down to relationship.
Yeah. You ain't wrong,
like that. And I understand that. And you know what? Sometimes we so busy focused on doing other things and not thinking about ourselves. That's why I'm so happy to be free. I am not ready to mingle, and I'm not ready to be with nobody. I am about to live up my life, and I have a blessed time at work. And to every mother that's on here, I know Mother's Day is gone, but happy Mother's Day. But y'all keep y'all heads up and realize it's better things in life than to go through drama.
All right, baby. You too, darling.
Thank you, Miss Eccles. Bye, Oprah. Bye, Oprah. We're going to bring to the stage the juiciest cakes outside of the Mason-Dixon. Miss Jew Cake, tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Well, you can check me out here Tuesday and Friday on the ATL show. And also check out my website, get some herbal tea and other homeopathic wellness for you at enliven2u.com. ENLIVEN, the number 2 and the letter U.com. I'm doing some Facebook challenges, so I need all of you all to not just look at it, but like it, share it, do some interaction to all the reels underneath Nicole Purse on Facebook. And you can hit me up on Insta. Go ahead. What?
I'm moving.
Oh. On Instagram at Miss Beautiful or TikTok at Miss Juicy Cakes. Peace.
We know we appreciate you, Cake. Appreciate you being on here. Giving everybody the soft Duncan Hine version of the reel. We're gonna bring to the stage my sister, the Miss Throw That Ass in a Circle Queen, Miss Savage One. Let them know, baby.
She done went to sleep. Well, you can see her at T Savage. What is that? T Savage is her Instagram is T Savage 1000, Facebook Anya Drayton Burrs, TikTok at T Savage T_Savage 100, and her email is bursanya@gmail.com, and you can see her every Tuesday and Friday on the Anthony Brown Show.
Yes, Miss Adrian. Yes, and there's our boss lady, Miss Tayama Sweetness Harris.
Tiama right now, she's on the highway headed to the West Coast, but Tiama Sweetness Harris. That's Tyson Mom. You can find her on Instagram at Tiama01, on Facebook at Tiama Copeland 1. You can email her at justintimeaccessories@gmail.com, and her website is justintimeaccessories.com. And for business purposes, give her a call at 954-873-6659.
Y'all, please don't listen to what Tony said at the end, because she'll kill us. So don't call that number. Just email her. All right, we're going to definitely come out here. We're going to bring the boss man to the podcast stream, to the platform. My thorn in my side. My pain in the ass. My brother. I wouldn't trade for no other. Mr. Anthony Brown, come to the stage, boss.
Yes, I'm Anthony Brown. You can find me on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course YouTube under The Anthony Brown Show. Also, I have a Facebook page called Anthony the Writer. Please like and join and follow that page as well. I'll be sharing a lot of information on there real soon. And the words that I live by, and I wish you would adopt them as well. That's you got to grind until you shine. And for business purposes only, please call me at 561-768-3710.
All right. And y'all know who I am, Mr. Legacy the Great. You can reach me on Facebook under Dream Williams. You can also hit me on my email at Antonio Williams. My email address is legacyunlocked@mail.com. For all businesses purpose, please give me a call at 229-630-7615. In closing tonight, we had some valid points on both ends from the ladies. They were doing their thing. But let's set some realistic expectations for. Let's not just look at high value men as the only good men out here. Let's not just look at men in general. And as Ms. Adrian said earlier, that black men are an endangered species. So not only are we an endangered species just in the world, we're an endangered species in the economic struggle. We're an endangered species in the education realm. We're an endangered species through it all, because they also know, powers that be, that you give the power to the people that's supposed to have the power alongside with the most powerful woman on the planet, and then you have the most powerful couple, Black Power. We love you. ATL, ho.
Teamwork makes dreams.
ATL. They're back.
It's my time again.
Anthony, Tioma, T Savage, Legacy. They're back. They're the best. Let's get it. Season 2.
I'm the best at this shit, that's fact. And there's only one reason that I came back. I'm here to set the fucking record straight. Okay, I'm the best you ever cast that spell the way. First off, ain't no beef with the spitters in my city. But if it comes with 28, man, shit get gritty. I'm shitty. Yeah, I shit on rappers. Either dead on the scene, since you wanna be actors. This the message. I'm talking open hills and places. The school love feeling foggy. I'll be patiently waiting. It seems y'all forgot who really runs the throne. Screaming y'all number one just because I was gone. See, ain't no stopping me now. I'm on the move. I'm on against me. Must be you ready to lose. The game, the street, the zone is took. This the message. Hope it leave from me rappers. Sure. Yeah. The message. So y'all know. Yeah. The monster is back. And I'm at my spot.
ATL, ho.